Welcome to Senior Wisdom, your trusted guide to thriving in your golden years. Today, we're tackling a topic that could change the way you feel every single day. What if the vegetables you've been eating, ones you've always thought were healthy, are quietly sapping your energy, stiffening your joints, and making daily tasks harder? For many seniors, this is exactly what's happening, and the worst part is most don't even know it. As we age past 60, our bodies change in ways we don't always notice. Digestion slows, inflammation creeps up, joints ache, and energy levels dip. You might think all vegetables are your allies, but some can actually worsen these issues, leaving you feeling tired, sore, or unsteady. A 2023 study in the Journal of Aging and Health found that certain foods, including specific vegetables, were linked to increased joint stiffness, fatigue, and even cognitive decline in seniors. These aren't fancy superfoods you've never heard of. They're probably in your fridge right now. But don't worry, this isn't about fear. It's about empowerment. Today, we're diving deep into 3 vegetables you should avoid if you want to keep your joints flexible and your energy soaring, and 3 you should add to your plate to support mobility, vitality, and independence. This isn't about restrictive diets or trendy fads. It's about science-backed choices that let you age with confidence. In my years as a doctor, I've seen seniors transform their lives by making small, smart changes to what they eat. It's not always about what's missing. It's about what you didn't realize you needed to avoid. So, let's get started with a vegetable many of us love, but one that could be working against you. Corn. Corn is a classic. Whether it's corn on the cob at a summer barbecue, canned corn in a salad, or a warm corn casserole, it feels wholesome and nostalgic. But for seniors, corn can be a hidden troublemaker. Why? It's high in sugar and starch, which cause rapid blood sugar spikes followed by crashes. These spikes trigger inflammation, stressing your joints and making them feel stiff and painful. Over time, this can weaken circulation to your muscles and joints, leading to fatigue and discomfort. For seniors with arthritis or blood sugar concerns, corn's high glycemic load, ranking around 55-70 on the glycemic index, can be especially problematic. It strains blood vessels, reducing oxygen flow to your joints, which means more aches and less energy. Let me tell you about Linda, a 70-year-old retired nurse. Linda loved her weekly corn chowder. It was her comfort food after long shifts. But she started noticing her knees and hips ached more after meals, and by mid-afternoon she was so tired she couldn't enjoy her evening walks. She thought it was just aging, but when we reviewed her diet, corn stood out. We made a plan to swap it for a nutrient-rich vegetable we'll talk about later. Within 3 weeks, Linda's joint pain eased, and she had enough energy to start gardening again. The lesson? Comfort foods should comfort your body, not just your memories. So, next time you reach for corn, pause and ask, is this helping my joints or quietly making them ache? Next, let's talk about a vegetable with a healthy halo that might be causing more harm than you think. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are everywhere, in pasta sauces, salads, soups. They're rich in vitamins, so they seem like a no-brainer for health. But for many seniors, especially those with joint pain or inflammation, tomatoes can be a problem. They belong to the nightshade family and contain solanine, a compound that can irritate joints and muscles in sensitive individuals. For seniors with arthritis or autoimmune conditions, solanine can trigger low-grade inflammation, leading to stiffness, discomfort, and even fatigue. A 2021 study in arthritis research therapy noted that nightshade vegetables worsened symptoms in some patients with osteoarthritis. The tricky part is, the effects aren't always obvious. You might not feel a flare-up right after eating tomatoes, but over weeks, your joints feel tighter, your movement slower, your energy lower. If you're waking up with stiff hands or finding it harder to climb stairs, tomatoes could be a culprit. The good news? You don't need to ban them forever. Try cutting tomatoes out for 2 to 3 weeks and track how you feel. Less pain, more energy. That's your body giving you feedback. And don't worry, we'll share a vibrant, joint-friendly alternative soon that delivers flavor without the risk. Our final vegetable to avoid is beets. Beets are earthy, colorful, and often praised for their nutrients. But for seniors, they can pose challenges. Beets are high in oxalates, compounds that can accumulate in your body and contribute to joint pain, especially if you're prone to gout or kidney issues. Oxalates can also bind to calcium, reducing its absorption and weakening your bones and joints over time. Plus, beets' natural sugars can cause energy crashes and inflammation, similar to corn. For seniors, this translates to stiffer joints, less stamina, and a harder time staying active. If you're feeling sluggish or your joints ache after a beet salad, it's worth reconsidering this vegetable. Now let's move to the exciting part. 3 vegetables you should embrace to boost your joints and energy. First up, kale. Kale is a superstar for seniors who want to stay active and energized. It's packed with vitamin K, which strengthens bones and reduces joint inflammation. Its antioxidants, like quercetin, fight oxidative stress that can stiffen joints and drain energy. Kale also improves blood flow to your muscles, keeping them strong and responsive so you can walk, climb stairs, or dance with confidence. A 2022 study in Nutrients found that vitamin K-rich foods like kale reduce joint pain. In seniors with osteoarthritis, try this. Lightly saute kale with olive oil and a pinch of garlic for a savory side, or blend it into a morning smoothie with berries for a nutrient boost. Just 1 cup a day can make a difference. Linda, our retired nurse, started adding kale to her lunches. Within a month, her morning stiffness faded, and she had the energy to volunteer at her local community center. Kale isn't just a vegetable, it's a tool for staying independent. Next, sweet potatoes. Unlike their starchy cousin white potatoes, sweet potatoes are a senior's ally. They're rich in beta-carotene and vitamin C, which reduce inflammation and protect joint cartilage. Their natural sugars release slowly, providing steady energy without the crashes that zap your vitality. Sweet potatoes also support collagen production, keeping your joints flexible and pain-free. Roast them with olive oil and rosemary, or mash them with a touch of cinnamon for a comforting side. They're delicious, affordable, and a game-changer for joint health. Let's check in with George, a 73-year-old former mechanic. George loved fried potatoes but noticed his hips ached, and he felt tired by noon. After swapping potatoes for roasted sweet potatoes, he was amazed. Within 2 weeks, his joint pain eased, and he had enough energy to tinker in his garage again. He told me, "I thought I was just getting old, but now I feel like I've got my spark back." That's the power of choosing the right vegetable. Finally, Brussels sprouts. These small green gems are loaded with vitamin C, fiber, and sulforaphane, a compound that reduces joint inflammation and boosts energy by fighting oxidative stress. Sulforaphane also supports cartilage health, keeping your joints flexible for daily activities. Steam or roast Brussels sprouts with a drizzle of olive oil. Avoid boiling, as it strips nutrients. A 2024 study in Frontiers in Nutrition linked sulforaphane-rich foods to improved mobility in seniors. Add a handful to your dinners, and you'll feel the difference in your stamina and joint comfort. George added roasted Brussels sprouts to his meals, and soon he was walking his dog farther and feeling more energized than he had in years. He even started hosting game nights with friends again, something he'd stopped because of fatigue. Small changes, big results. Let's bring it all together. Today, we've uncovered 3 vegetables to avoid after 60. Corn, which spikes blood sugar and inflammation. Tomatoes, which can irritate joints. And beets, which may worsen joint pain and sap energy. Instead, embrace kale for strong bones and vitality, sweet potatoes for steady energy and joint health, and Brussels sprouts for flexibility and stamina. These aren't just foods, they're votes for your independence. Think of Linda and George. At 70 and 73, they thought aches and fatigue were inevitable. But by swapping corn for kale, adding sweet potatoes, and enjoying Brussels sprouts, they're moving better, feeling clearer, and living with more joy. You don't need expensive supplements or complex diets. You need clarity and consistency. Every bite is a choice. Vote for strength, energy, and freedom. So what surprised you most today? Was it a vegetable you eat often, or one you've been avoiding without knowing its benefits? Drop it in the comments. I read every one, and I'd love to hear your story. If this video helped, give it a like, share it with a friend or family member, and subscribe to Senior Wisdom for more tips to age strong and live well. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Your body's listening. What will you tell it today? Let's keep the conversation going. Share your favorite healthy recipe below, and let's inspire each other to thrive.